Bless.
I gave the permission to you.
I got it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, guys. I'm so glad that we got the day started. It was a little different, but I feel like those extra 4 minutes or 9 minutes of wherever you came in were definitely worth it. So first thing, I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. I'm excited. We're coming to the end of our 7 series, I guess, educational process. We start off with the sales practice, going into marketing, as well as then going into some good practices for coming into the business, doing three-way calls and some mock trials, if you guys want to say. So today is going to be a fun little addition and close to all of that. If you guys have any questions after I'm done, please share them. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off with a video. It's only 11 minutes, and then we'll finish up with the presentation. So let's get it on and popping. Let me know if you guys can see my screen and can hear.
On first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else. It's like I would watch Magic play, watch Michael play. I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out. Best player of the day. Everything.
Can you turn it up, Bryce?
How to become a better basketball.
Hold up. I want to see what's going on because it should be perfect sound. Let's try this again. Share sound.
You really want me on the team. What's your approach to it?
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else. Like I would watch Magic play. I'd watch Michael play. And I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
That's why he's the best player in the game.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
So many guys tell stories about your work ethic.
Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. I mean, since 20 years. I mean, it was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Man, my vertical was a 40. It wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive. Right, so you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast. Right, so I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed. It's a good separation for me, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training or during games, I switch my mind to something else. I switch my mode into something else, right? For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus, Decimus, Meridius, and Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt. It's go time, right? So that was my mental switch. It was like an actor getting ready for a film. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. And then when you leave there, it's something completely different. But when I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you got to look at the reality of the situation. Like for me, it's not, you kind of got to get over yourself. Like, it's not about you, man. Like, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Like, get get over yourself.
That's where you go.
Get over yourself, right? Like you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. High school, year before, we played 35 games, max, right? Week in between, spaced out, plenty of time to rest. In the NBA, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs. So you look at the shot, every shot was online. Every shot was online, but every shot was short. Right? I gotta get stronger. I gotta train differently. The weight training program that I'm doing, I gotta tailor it for an 82-game season so that when the playoffs come around, my legs are stronger and that ball gets there. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. That was it.
Done. Were there some names that you looked at and says, these 3 guys are as crazy as I am?
At the time, I deal with what I've referred to as Goat Mountain. I went to Goat Mountain and I talked to Magic, Michael, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Bill Russell. You know, so I would talk to them. What did you do? What were your experiences? Michael in particular, he's become my big brother. He's been my big brother since I first came in the league. And what was that process like? So I went to them and started understanding the ins and outs of the game and, you know, how they approach things and their level of detail and obsessiveness. And that's what I did. The players that had that passion but weren't willing to commit their entire lives to doing that, right? It's a choice, right? You have other things, you have family, you have all these other things that you have to do. The game can't really be your number one priority. And so I was looking at that like, man, this is gonna be fun.
If I'm buddies with you from high school, if I'm a cousin of yours, what happened to our relationship? How did that gravitate when you went into the league and you're determined to become the greatest, or you're determined to become one of the greatest? What happens to our relationship?
Well, it suffers.
It does suffer.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you understood that. You were okay with that.
Well, yeah. And the people that love you, like friends and family, like they know that about you.
Got it.
So they let you be you. And when you reconvene, you know, you pick back up where you left off. But make no mistake about it, everything in between is lost. Right? So those long-term relationships, the commitment of time of, taking vacation. Like I see a lot of players take vacations with other players that are close friends. And they'll just take vacations just to take vacations or just hang out, just to hang out. Like I never did that. But
Why not though? Why didn't you do that?
Well, because when I retire, I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that. You know? I don't want that. You know, you got a lot of people paying their hard-earned money to come watch you perform. Perform. It's your job to be in shape. It's your job to be strong enough to perform at that level every single night. And as a competitor, I'm not ducking shit. Like it's not, oh my God, my back hurts, I'm sore, we gotta play Vince Carter and Toronto Raptors tonight. We actually had this happen. We had a game against Toronto in 2000, and Vince was tearing the league up. My back was jacked. But like the perception of that, like what? Kobe's missing a game against Toronto and Vince Carter because my back was really spasming. But people will be like, what? Oh, he's ducking Vince. Excuse me? No, I don't think so. So I would be in the layup line like, okay, there's a lot of days where, you know, you can rest and recover. Today ain't one of them. Your back can bother you any other day. That shit ain't bothering me today. He gonna have to see me today. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
If you're looking at a big investments you got to make, what is the decision-making process there? Do you call? Is there first you do your own research? You take this much time. You call an advisor. Is there a system you follow?
It's pretty simple for me. It's do you understand the business? Is it a business that you can help in some form or fashion? What are the barriers to entry to that business? And then the entrepreneurs themselves, the company itself, right? Do they have a culture that you believe is sustainable? Are these leaders people that you believe in? Are they people that are obsessives? And in turn, have they created a culture of obsessiveness? So I tend to look at those 4 factors, and that's it.
That's big right there, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that right there. That's pretty massive right there. Same determination. What's your current work schedule look like today?
It's different because I personally am not writing every word of the novels. I am not animating the films. What I have to do now is make sure that the people that we bring in, these obsessives that we bring in, are challenging themselves to do the best job that they think they can do. That's what I'm there for, is for them to constantly look in the mirror and self-assess and challenge themselves. If we have a project and you're saying, okay, I can do that, that's not the project we want. The projects that say, I don't know if I can animate that. I don't know how to write that story. I don't know how to do that. Those are the things we want, because through that curiosity, you'll reach a level that you didn't think was possible. And so running the studio, that's what I'm doing.
You're playing against the Golden State Warriors. Score is 107-109. You guys are close to getting into the playoffs. You know exactly what happens in the game. You go up, you're about to take your shot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Achilles happens, right? He went and hit the free throws, and then you walked off the stage.
Yeah.
You got the surgery done.
I went in the trainer's room, my kids are in there, and they're looking at you and stuff, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, it's all right, Dad's gonna be all right. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. As a parent, you gotta set the example. You gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not gonna cripple me. It's not gonna be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm gonna step away on my own terms. And that's when the decision was made that, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're a freaking beast, guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut for a second. I want to give us at least 8 minutes to discuss this video because it is a very powerful video. It means a lot to me. And I didn't get to the pleasure of knowing Kobe, but he went to school not a few miles from where I'm sitting right now. And he's done a lot for my community in Philadelphia. So I'm going to let you guys hit me with a couple things that you learned from the video, please.
Bryce?
I can hear you.
Okay. I see determination, and even in the midst of what may appear to be hurtful, especially when he was talking about his back was spasm. If anybody ever dealt with that, it's really painful, but to push through it and still make the effort and challenge your body to still pursue. So I see determination.
That's when everybody remember that word challenge. It's going to be very important for today.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I like it's so much. Oh my God, like I wanted to write it down. But just so much he said. A lot of it, he even talked about those relationships. I like the question that he asked about that, because sometimes when you're going forward in something and you're pushing so hard, you lose those relationships. And he admitted, like, yeah, that's what it is going to be sometimes, right? Just like when your friends and family don't believe in your business, they don't think it's real, they think this is a scam, they're not going to support you, they're not here for you, you running, you trying to get to VP, they just don't understand. They don't understand. That doesn't mean you're never going to talk to them again. That doesn't mean you disown them. It just means, hey, right now that relationship's not the same. you know, we may have lost that time in between, but look, this is what I'm working on. This is where I want to be. And we want them to come along, but they're not always going to come along. They're not always going to come along. But when now you regain that relationship, you're of a different mindset. You're there. You want to help them to get to that. But yeah, some relationships and some things will be lost on your way and on your journey to greatness and being a winner.
Thank you, Keisha. Anybody else? I know we've got a lot of people who want to talk, so let's hear it. Let's hear it.
What I got from advice is being yourself. Being yourself, stand determined and not worrying about what everyone's got to say about you. Like you said, you're not that important. So just keep running the race and not giving up, and that's what I got from it.
No, I want people to understand him saying you're not important. That's about perception. So we are all important to a degree, but you're not the most important in it. A lot of people, when they hear him say that, hold up, I am important. I was told, but I was going to, yeah, we understand that you're great. Let the ego drop back. You are important. You are great, but you are not greater than anybody else. You are a part of a whole, and your greatness adds to the whole.
For that.
Get out your way. Get out of everybody else's way. Let that ego go. Anybody else?
Yeah, for sure. Great video. Lots of nuggets. We need to, I got, the same thing, determination, passion, commitment, just some of the words that I wrote down. Challenge, right? Challenge, obsession, get over yourself, develop a switch, right? That mode, like to where you can, okay, where like this, where we're in the last stretch of this 4-week month. And so switching, blocking everything off. He said it's a switch in my mind. I go into this mode where it's like everything else is blocked out and it's go time. So I'm like, okay, well, everybody don't have that. So you got to develop a switch where you can switch it on. Like, look, okay, I'm blocking it out. It's go time. And in doing that, you are setting the example. I wrote that down too. That was one of the last things that I heard from him, set the example. Because there are a lot of different, a lot of different, I don't know, there are options out there, right? And so it's imperative that, you connect with people where the need to perform is greater. So, right, you want to, find those people where it's like the pressure or the obsession almost to perform is great, and so that's just some of the things that I got. You got to immerse yourself. That's another thing that I kind of got. Identify your weakness and don't run from it, right? Immerse yourself in it. When like Ms. Linda stated, when he was talking about his back spasms, and he had already planned to be sitting on the bench, which would be, I mean, not necessarily, I don't want to say that's running, because he really was in pain. I'm not taking that away from him, but hearing his drive and his determination, hearing other people having that doubt about him. He didn't have doubt about himself, but he just said, well, I actually am hurt. Let me sit this out. But hearing other people having that doubt, he's like, oh no, that's not what it is. I'm pushing through this. I'm immersing myself in this pain, and I'm going to fight through it. You know what I'm saying? To get to do what I need to do. So yeah, that was something else that I got. Identify your weakness, don't run from it, and kind of immerse yourself in it. Get over yourself, set the example, be obsessed, be committed, be passionate, and let's get it. Go ahead, Bryce. I'm sorry.
I can dig it. We still have 2 minutes. I'm a person about time. If you guys know Keisha and Jabari, and they've got to meet me, and they know that I'm obsessed with time. So I'm sticking to the time. A couple things I brought from the video, and I've watched this video 1,000 times. I've always got more things from it, but preparation is key. Perfect. All right. So you remember the 5 P's. Perfect preparation prevents piss poor performance. Please remember that. Get out your own way, get out over yourself, and follow the science. That this has all been done before. We've been here. Follow the science. Emulate the people who have done it before. Look for the goats and emulate the greats. Commit to what you need to do, and sacrifice those things that you don't need to do or that are less important. Know what can be lost, live your life that you'll never regret, have the posture, understand what you need to do in order to achieve those goals, and be the representation of the culture that you're looking for. And then the last one was be the legacy that you want, own your destiny. Those are my quick things. We are still on time. If there's anybody who can say their last thing in the last minute, I'll let you go. If not, I'll get started so we can get through this presentation and I can leave you guys with some amazing things.
I want you to repeat those P's again.
Okay. I'll actually see if I can write them down. So perfect. No, it's preparation. Perfect prep prevents piss poor. There we go. I'm gonna drop inside the chat. So that prep is preparation. Perfect preparation prevents piss poor performance. And that I've heard that in other places, but that's what he's talking about. But anyway, it is 10:30. I'm excited and I want to share this with you guys. It won't take too long, which is why I didn't mind talking a little longer about the video. But this is very important. It's very small, but it is a key and essential piece to our success. So with that being said, we're going to get started. We're going to have a lot of fun. And let me just get everything up and running. Give me 1 second. And let's get it popping. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right, so today's conversation and presentation is about the follow-up. All right, and why is this so important? Well, we'll get into that in 1 second. Having a little technical difficulties, but that is a-okay. All right, so come on, there we go. All right, so first I want to start with the big picture concept with a quick story. So with the quick story, there are 3 blind men looking for a great animal that no one has ever seen before, and it's called an elephant. They heard it was great in size, wondrous to look at, and a voice that could rattle your soul. After setting out, the 3 men all followed a sound of the beast's great breathing. The first man came across a huge pillar. It must have been 1,000 feet, he said, maybe a 1,000-foot tree. It was huge. It was massive. The second man said, the sound led me to a hefty rope, one that was so strong 100 mules could never break it. And a third man said, I found a piece of material that when it blew some wind, it created such a gust that will keep our villages from ever catching on fire and suffering from a fire ever again. Later, they all found out that that big, huge pillar was actually a leg of the elephant. The tail was actually that hefty rope, and the ear of the great elephant was actually that piece of material that created such a gust. The moral of the story is sometimes you have to step back and view the big picture. We're all worried about these small, minute little details, but certain things, there's a bigger picture to things, and stop worrying about those small little details. All right. You can take in everything if your vision is, you can't take everything in if your vision is obscured. You have to focus on the right things. If I have my right hand up moving, but my left hand is doing something, I may be taking something from you or offering you something that you may not see. Just like what we learned when we were in South Carolina, Alfred Nixon, he showed us this video of, I think it was a panda bear or a bear or something. They're passing around these balls and everything, and most of us, including myself, missed the dancing bear or whatever it was in the middle. Nate's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about, but it's a fact. We were focusing on the wrong thing because we were told to focus on the wrong thing instead of looking at the big picture. So continuing from there, there are 3 parts to growing a successful business. All right. The 3 parts are marketing, like we've discussed. That lets people know what your brand is. Then you have your sales, which is getting your business up and running and becoming profitable. And then you have your follow-up, which is keeping your business alive. Excuse me for the sniffles. My allergies are a little problematic today. So first, with the follow-up, we're going to discuss the whats, the whys, the hows, the whens, and the who's. Starting with the whats, It's what is it? Follow up is tapping into those people who say no, later, maybe, get back to me. You're going to be revisiting them, closing them if possible, because not everyone is ready to get started today. The whys is important. Timing is everything. For an agent, they will always, you may always be ready, so you never have to get ready. It comes back to that perfect preparation prevents piss poor performance. As an agent, always be ready, because though you may have talked to somebody a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, you have to be ready for when they contact you, because they may not be ready today. But then when it comes to clients and such, those people may not be ready, so you have to come back and jump in with them. People go through things that can hold them back, and there can be legitimate things. They can be excuses. It's not up to us to determine what that is. Next is, why is this so hard to do? Why is it hard to follow up? The reason it's hard for us to follow up is not because the process is difficult. We haven't learned properly in how to follow up, and we'll discuss that a little later, but that's the lack of practice in systematic operations. Again, I'm going to repeat that. The lack of practicing the right way. Perfect preparation prevents piss poor performance. You know what you're doing, you don't have to worry about what you're doing in the future. And if you're always practicing the right way, you can never know the wrong way, which is why we started this whole series. And the systematic operations. Find something that works, get rid of all the problems, ready, fire, aim, and then knock it out. Okay? Next is how to start. Keep a record of every single person that you speak with, what you said to them, when you spoke with them, why you spoke to them in the first place, and then a couple notes, maybe special notices, events, life situations, birthdays, stuff like that. Make sure it's personal, be that consultant. And then we go into the when. That is, when do I start? Immediately. After you talk to a person, I don't care if it's the very first person you've ever spoken to about this, make sure that you get them into some kind of way of recording their information, because this will secure your success later down the line. And then who do I focus on? Every single person that I communicate with. It doesn't matter what you guys talked about. If business was brought up, or you guys talked about something that your business may be able to offer them some kind of value, take their information down, figure out how to record that information. And then the who also includes, who do I emulate? The people who are doing the best way of follow-ups, the people who are doing the things that you want to be good at, follow them. The science has already been created, just like in this video. Kobe, one of the greats, he's passed and his name will never be forgotten. He emulated Michael Jordan. He emulated Magic. Like, these are greats that came before him. He wanted to be great, so he followed the greats. All right, so let's continue on. Next, we have our practice makes perfect when it comes to records. Two major things I recommend are handwritten information and digital. Handwritten, if you don't have funds or if you're limited on technology, that is okay. Take a $1 notebook, a pen and paper. All you have to do is name, date you communicated with them, if you invited them, and whatnot. Super simple. It costs $1 at a dollar store. A digital way, you can use your smartphone or your computer and create an Excel spreadsheet or even a Word document. You can do it on Google Docs. You can do it on open source technology. It's free on the internet. And then the other thing, which I personally like the most, is a CRM, or a customer relationship management system, which basically you record the information, it's then stored so you can reference that information later. You can create your own system by utilizing Excel. Continuing on, a lot of people are like, Bryce, what does this really look like? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a template. Here's an example of what you can use for your Excel. You can have their name, the location in which you met the prospect, when you reached out to that prospect, the date you invited, and when you allowed them to view the opportunity. Did they respond to you? Are they willing to post on your behalf? Were they invited to see the business plan or not? Did they attend seeing the business plan? Some notes like I had previously said. And then at the end, your follow-up attempts. I have follow-up attempt from number 1 to number 12, because I've told you guys before, it takes anywhere between 7 to 12 on average to close a person one time. These are figures from real estate. These are figures from insurance. These are figures from any kind of field. the number averages between 7 to 12, depending on how good the person is. All right. Now, we want to work the numbers because just like Kobe said, we want to focus on the science. I call this the 1/3 process mindset. Okay. For every interested prospect, you need to contact 3 people. For every yes that you want, you need 3 interested prospects. And for every 1 enrollment, you need 3 yeses. Okay. I want you guys to remember that. Now we're going to take off quick. It's all a numbers game. Based upon the numbers, your goal is to get, in a 4-week month, is to get 12 plus agents. That could be by yourself or for your whole team. I personally would rather do that myself, and I know that I'm capable. Just because that's what Bryce is capable, your job is not to compete with Bryce. My job is not to compete with you. Your job is to compete with who you are. Next, you want 8 to 12 personal protection plan clients. Within a 5-week month, you want 15 agents, 10 to 15 personal clients, and then you want a limitless supply of Sable cards. There's nothing that's going to hold you back from Sable cards because it doesn't physically cost you anything, and it's not too difficult to let a person know how to fix their credit using this great resource. Continuing on this subject, those numbers seem like a lot, but if we're looking at a weekly goal, that's 3 agents a week, 2 to 3 clients enrolled, and Sable cards, just let them keep flying. It doesn't matter how many your goal is. My goal is as many as possible. I don't feel like you should limit yourself on Sable cards. All right. Okay. Now we're going to get to the actual numbers of what these numbers actually look like if you wanted to achieve these goals. For your 3 enrollments, you need 9 people to say yes. For your 9 yeses, you need 27 people to show interest. And to get your 27 interested people, you need 81 people contact. Okay. Now let's double that to include your other enrollments for your clients, because our goal is to have 2 clients for every 3 agents. But my goal is 3, because 3 and 3 is always better. And watching what Ashton Henry talked about with the 3s, you're going to pay attention to this. So same ratio, you need 6 enrollments for 18 yes. You need 18 yeses. 18 yeses will be done by having 54 interested people. 54 interested people comes from 162 people contacted. And that's only for 1 week. People are looking at these numbers like, Bryce, you want me to talk to 162 people in a week? Well, don't worry about the big numbers. Like I said, we're going to work from the big side and kind of cut it back. So here's our action steps. First one, those numbers may be scary, but there's no reason to feel overwhelmed. All right. And you're saying, how can I be overwhelmed about these numbers? Well, we're going to reference our IPAs, our income producing activities, and our DOT form so that we can reference these things and figure out what we have to do daily. Daily, we can talk to 12 to 24 plus people. These are averages, and these are recommended numbers. Just because I'm recommending these numbers does not mean you have to do this. This is what I want to be doing for myself. I just want to make sure I make that disclaimer. For those people, I want to be talking, or I want to be showing interested people, and I want that number to be anywhere between 4 to 8 people. I want 2 to 4 people saying yes to me on a daily basis. And I want to aim to close 1 person. And to talk about why I want to aim to close 1 person, you're not going to close a person every single day. Approximately, you'll close 43% of a person a day that are willing to sign up with you. So if you're aiming to close, doing the actions to close a person every single day, your numbers are going to start showing up, and you'll be able to start closing these numbers on a quicker basis. So in conclusion, it can be hard to always find new names, but it's a lot simpler to use names that you've already used and looked at. So what you want to do is you want to plan, act out the plan, and what that means is take action. You want to record your findings, the people you're talking to, what's working, what's not working, keep an accurate record of everything. You want to evaluate so that things that aren't working, you can scrap them, and the things that are working to continue. Then you want to repeat the process. And once you've got it down, you want to duplicate yourself. So it's not just you being the one who does all the work, so that your team is duplicating you. If you are happy with you and you have 5 more versions of you, you are literally have just built your whole system to getting to pinnacle. But in order for you to get it to pinnacle, you have to be the good example and duplicate yourself 5 times personally. So with that, I have a challenge for each and every one of us, including myself. Each person reset your business today. And this is including myself. Your business is brand new. You just got started yesterday at 12:01 a.m. Today is day 1. You are brand new and know nothing about the business. Using myself as an example, I personally have not prospected, have not made any appointments, have not done any follow-ups in the past month and a half for UWE. I've been working strictly with my insurance company. So this also goes to me. I'm acting like I'm brand new. I have nothing. I have no team members. And even my wife, even though she's technically my team member, she's doing the same exact thing. And I want you to work on 6 enrollments before 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. With that, I'm done. Thank you, guys.
I love that, Bryce. Thank you.
Very welcome.
That was amazing. That was amazing. And I mean, I love how you broke down the numbers. Let me see. I wrote it down here because people got to realize it is about numbers. Like, we want to talk to 5 people and think the 5 people are going to get started. I mean, it doesn't work like that. Right. So, I mean, you know, how many, and start making a note. How many people can you close? How many people can you get on a 3-way call? How many people out of those people are going to sign up? Start writing down and knowing your numbers. So he talked about in 4-week month, 12 agents. All right. And exactly what he says, knowing your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, how are you going to know how many more people you need to talk to get to your goal? And that's really what he's breaking down. So I really love that. And I love the challenge. How many people are going to make that happen and jump in on this challenge? Need to hear from you guys. It's interactive morning. Hello. Right.
Let's
go. Yes.
That was great, Bryce. You know, I had the opportunity. That was great. Just to follow up as far as understanding the statistics, right? It's all about the numbers, right? This is a numbers game. I mean, we say it all the time. I mean, but that's probably because that's what it is. And I always remember when we talk about follow-up that individuals, what is it? Let me try to pull it up real quick. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact, right? Only 10% of sales people make more than 3 contacts, right? So you have to identify, are you going to, in order to, you know, reach your goals, you got to come out of that 10% in order to reach the 80%, right? That actually gets started. So, you know, these strategies and understanding how all of it breaks down, it just makes it a lot more simple, right? It's easier to kind of comprehend when you can put it down, you know, in paper, you know, actually identifying, even with these titles, identifying, you know, how many field trainers you need to attain a certain title, you know, because remember, last call, we talked about core rank. You know what I mean? That's the foundation of this business, of this compensation plan. It's field trainers, not elite or sales director. It's literally the first promotion that you get when you start. So just identifying the numbers and understanding, seeing it on paper or on slides kind of makes it better. Did y'all see how the strategy that he gave about, you know, kind of keeping up with your follow-ups, you know, where you met the person, you know, what they said, what the date was, you know, the notes, and, you know, just keeping up with that information so we're as organized as possible. That's a nugget that I took for myself because I can do better at that. You know, just keeping a better track instead of having notes over here, having notes over there, and this and that and this and that. Yeah, You need it in one central location, and it's good to have. Yes, there you go. Look at you. Look at you. Name, location, when contacted, the date you invited them. Was it a three-way call? Was it a webinar? Was it a video that you sent them? What was that exposure like? How did that look? What did they say? Promote, invite, get a response. What was their response? Post, invite, invite to see the business plan. When did they view it? What did they say? What were the notes? Are they getting started next week? Do they have to, talk to their husband? Do they have to talk to their wife? What is it? What are they saying, right? And how many times have you followed up and not stopping until they're in your back office or until they tell you to hop off a bridge? I love it. Screenshot this page because this is like the DMO before, follow-ups, right? Understanding this allows you to get a better idea of your numbers along with the DMO, right? So if your DMO is not looking like it should, right? Let's look at, or if your closings, the enrollment section of your DMO, if it's not looking like it should, you might want to identify what gaps need to be filled in on this follow-up template, right? That makes sense? Thanks again, Bryce. This was great.
This is actually a example of what I used for mine. I got these off of what's her name? Reza Santiago's VP University lesson. This is straight from her. I don't think I made this up. Emulate those people who are already doing it. Name, UWE, reached out, invited, response, post for me, webinar, invited webinar, attended, notes, and follow-ups. I don't say anything that I'm not practicing. So here it is. If you guys want to take a screenshot of what it looks like, name, business, reached out, invited, response. And for me, it doesn't take 12 attempts. So I have it up to 7. But I don't think it takes me 7 attempts. After 5 attempts, I usually get my no because I push hard. But I also have the DMO. If you guys haven't heard of it before or don't know what it is, reach out to me via either Instagram or Telegram or WhatsApp, and I can send it to you personally. Anybody else? We are a quiet lot today.
Happy Wednesday, Samantha.
Hi, y'all. Bryce, I really want to thank you for that presentation. You really broke down just the follow-up system, made it really simple and what all is included, and gave proper examples on how to do it. I mean, whether you want to be paper or digital, I think you did a really great job of just breaking down something I think that people really dread and make harder than what it is. So you made it really simple, a tedious task that you can really go back and keep record of track of who we talked to, what they said, and so forth and so on. So thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Thank you. All right, we're coming down to the end of the presentation time. I wanted to know, is there anything that Keisha, Becken, or Jabari wanted to say? I want to make sure that we hear our higher up speak, because I love getting nuggets from them when I have the opportunity. And if there's nobody else, I would like them to speak.
Ashlyn, I see your mic is unmuted. Did you have something to add? Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Good job, Bryce. Woo! No, I didn't. Sorry. Maybe that was an accident, but thank you.
No worries. It's good to see you, Miss Leslie Lynch. It's good to see you, Financial Freedom. Corey Scott, always good to see you, boss. JB.
Hey, y'all. I'm just leaving the gym. I'm all sweaty, but great job as always, Bryce. You killed it. Keeping those numbers in the front of our mind. Remember, it's all a numbers game, y'all. Don't get caught up in, personalities and this person doesn't like me and this and that. No, just go through the numbers, be disciplined, be bulletproof. Just keep going, keep going. You might get 5 no's. That means your next couple prospects are all going to be yeses. You just got to go through the numbers. So great job, Bryce.
Lady P. All right, party people. Well, with that being said, let's get out here and get these enrollments popping, right? The goal this week is just to hit field training, right? You know, so that's 5 enrollments. Bryce, you know, pushed us today and said 6. So he didn't already challenge this. He said that's the word of the day. Challenge. Who has accepted the challenge? 2 agents, 4 customers, or 3 agents, and you know, 3 customers, right? So let's of course we know we just need two agents and 3 customers to hit field trainer, but our goal is to exceed the expectation, not just to meet it. We're the example, right? We don't want to be, you know, the individuals who barely are scraping by, because if you barely scraping by, it'll slip away even the faster. So let's soar above, rise above. We're eagles, right? And until next time, it's been real. Any last minute questions, concerns before we go? Who has made their post before we disconnect? I asked you all to make a post on Monday. It was super simple. Who has made the post? Anybody? Or do we just get on here and just give strategies just to hear ourselves speak on the replay? Or are we gonna actually
What's the specific post?
I made the post.
Or any post?
Hold on one second, me.
Who is that?
Ashlyn.
No, Dominique.
Hey, yeah, it was me. So I did make the post. I made one right before that, and it was it got a little bit more feedback, but I did get 3 comments off of that post so far. So it's going real good, and I did have some stuff to chime in about the video, but I had a call, so I'm sorry I had to hop off. But I did make the post, and it was getting you know, some traction. So yes, thank you for that, Nate.
Yeah. I mean, you all have, you know, scripts and things where you can connect with them, but I wanted to just show you the post. Can you all see? I'll share it in the group, but it's literally, I need more. Oh yeah, you can read it. I need more people.
I need more people to work from home, all online at home, weekly direct deposit and check, full training provided. Who's interested?
Right. Literally just then you can make it, you can tag people, you know, just to ensure that individuals are, you know, are watching. But just how I had been posting, the engagement on my page was already to, you know, a spot where people were commenting on other things. So I know if I posted that was going to, you know, you got to kind of be intentional, right, about how you're marketing. So if your posts aren't getting, you know, the attention or the traction that you want, right, you know, ensure that, you know, you're being intentional. It's called attraction marketing, right? So you're posting things that, you know, invites the engagement, invites people to your page. And because of all that interaction on your page, when you post anything else, it's going to pop to the top of, you know, everyone's, you know, news feed. So they're going to see it without you having to tag. But anywho, make the post, tag. I have several individuals in my inbox, several individuals that I'm still responding to. You can ask Keisha and Penelope, you're kind of ironing that out, you know, to get this done, right? So if you're looking for leads, that is one way to go. Tagging, making public, and just letting people know that you're still doing this, regardless of how it looks. It could be, you know, you might not have posted anything, you know, about your business in a while, and that's okay. But this post is going to be their reminder. Yes, I'm still, hello, yes. So yeah, get excited about it. I'm excited to see where this week takes us. Let's close it out strong. Each and every one of you. I'll see all of you over the top and at the bank. If there be no more questions until Friday, people, don't forget about the credit one-on-one call tomorrow. Understanding credit. We got to understand what it is that we're talking about. People come to us as they thinking we're the expert. And so we have to operate like experts, right? So get excited about that. Like I said, if there be no more questions, I see all of you on that call tomorrow and on the Breakfast Club on Friday. See y'all later. Let's have a good day.